You want to give us a rundown on that one, Bob?
Well, this is the 55 Fleetwood. This is the 55 Fleetwood was the first car I ever seen that had an air conditioner in it.
Yeah.
I was working for a man for $1 an hour, and he bought a brand new Cadillac, and he gave me a ride in it, and I couldn't get over that air conditioner. It was the hot summertime, and that was always my fascination. In fact, this is my favorite car. It's not my best car or my most expensive car, but it's my favorite car. This car is a 57 Eldorado. This is a pretty high dollar car here. It's hard to say what they're worth. When you collect old cars, you're kind of by your old cars like you are with your kids. You usually like them better than anybody else. But this is a nice car. It's all original. This one is too. And it's this is a nice car. This car here is a 58 Fleetwood. It's all original. This is probably the best conditioned car I've got as far as the originality and being at itself. It's just like new. When it's all cleaned up, they're nice.
You got that in San Diego, did you?
Yeah, I bought this car in San Diego. I went to the old boy, and when I went to buy it, he asked me $6,000 for it, and of course, I'm wanting to get it as cheap as I can, and I offered him $5,000, and he said, "You mean you don't think that car's worth $6,000?" And I didn't have the heart to tell him that it wasn't worth it. So all I told him, I just said, "I'm just telling you $5,000 is all I got for it," and sold it to him. But this is really my nicest car as far as being original. And it's just really like new when it's cleaned up.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's a new. Oh, that's a new.
Car there. I bought my wife that little sports Mercedes down in Los Angeles. Went down to that big shuffleboard tournament down there last July, and
it's one of those that
so
comes
I went
off.
and bought this sports Mercedes for her. She'd always wanted one. I never could afford it, so I finally just decided that I'd buy her one, and so I bought this car for her down there. And she told me I bought her a sports Mercedes after she got too old to sport. So she probably I'm not going to touch that again.
What's this one, Bob?
This car here, this is 1939.
39.
It's called 75 series. That means it's a limousine. It's got a middle a window in it, and it's also got jump seats, got side mounts. This is when this car's cleaned up, this is a nice car. This car here is a 1941. I bought this one in Las Vegas when I was at the big tournament at the Sierra Club. I always look at the papers when I go anywhere.
I think I remember you going out looking at this.
See if I can see anything in it, and this was in the paper. And I went over and looked at it, and I bought it. I drove it home from Las Vegas.
What model?
This is a 1941.
41.
It's completely restored, all restored.
Yeah.
This car here is a 1949. It's a limousine, and it's got 25,000 actual miles on it. This car has. We're taking and doing a little carburetor work on this car at this time. But this car, when it's cleaned up, it looks just like new, with the exception of we're getting some rust here. I see on it. So I don't know what we're gonna have to do about that. Just probably redo it. This car here is a 75 limousine. That 75 is a series, and it's a 48 model. And this car belonged to Jack Palance, the movie star. The papers, I got the papers on it and everything where it says that it was his car.
Palance owned it.
This car here is a 1957 limousine, and this car, it's a good solid 3. It just has to be cleaned up a little bit, and it's got some tears inside. It's got to be redone, but it's a nice car. This car is a 61 limousine, and it's been completely all restored. This is new paint and everything on it. Whenever we get it cleaned up, it cleans up nice. This car here is a 59 Fleetwood. It's been all redone, restored. It's a nice car.
59.
Yeah, it's a 59.
It's got them fins in the back there.
Yeah, that's very popular. That was long about the time they was going to the moon and things, and
Yeah.
those big fins was very popular. In fact, at one time, the 59, not the Fleetwood, I'm really the only one that likes them four-door sedan, but the hardtop, 59 hardtop was the most popular car going at one time. This car here is a 62, and this car has won Concord shows. That means that the best shows, car shows in the business. In fact, they usually trailer cars to the show instead of drive them. This car has won some of those shows. It's all original, and it's won the shows for originality. This is a nice car. This car here is a 1938
38.
limousine, the middle divider, jump seats, the works. This car interior is so nice that the back seat, we don't even get in the back seat. It's so nice, and it's so old we're afraid it'll tear. But this is my oldest car. There was 53 of them made.
53.
53. And there's 4 of them left. And this is one of them.
Oh boy.
This car here is another 59. This is what's called a flat top. I'm usually a Fleetwood man, really, but once in a while I'll jump the track, see something I like, and I'll get it. And this was one of them, the flat top. But it's kind of what makes it such a collectible. They didn't make as many of them, and that flat top part makes it a collectible. This car here, this is a 63 car. It's a nice car, but before I really got all these got this carport built, well, they was set out in the sun. In fact, this car had set right out here in the sun for 2 years and wrecked the top on it. So I could have, that was a bad thing to do, but that's what I done. But this is a nice car when it cleans up. It's a nice car. This car here is a 51, and it's a nice car when it cleans up. It's all original, and it's still got the plastic seat covers on it. I can remember back in these days with this car, plastic seat covers was a big thing. In fact, when you bought a new car, well, you'd put plastic seat covers on it. That's before you ever drove it out. That's one of the first things you do.
Remember that.
But this car is showing some rust here too. The reason that I take and like with this rust, that I don't really get after it a little more vigorously, is that I'm gonna have to have that all re-chromed anyway, so I just let it go. And all these old hubcaps up here, it's just some hubcaps that I pick up when I'm somewhere and I see a good buy on some hubcaps. I buy them and thinking, well, maybe I might need them sometimes.
Yeah.
But all these motorcycles here, these are in pawn at the pawn shop. And I bring them out here and I set them under the lean-to here to keep them out of the weather.
Yeah.
I don't want to